All right, let's get this party started. And we got a lot McDonald's for you guys because we're eating the breakfast menu for y'all. So I wanted to try a lot of the items at the breakfast menu just so you guys can have a good idea of what's available here in Japan, what's different here in Japan, and sort of try to contrast and compare between McDonald's Japan here in Japan and compared to Canada. And so let's see what items we have for today. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and lastly, so I wonder if this constitutes as a mukbang considering we're eating so much fucking food. So what do we have to try today? So today we have the bacon egg McSandwich. Then we got the chicken crisp muffin. Then we have the sausage and egg cheese McGriddle. Then we have the sausage McMuffin with egg. Lastly, we have a very special item. We have I believe it's a McMuffin Teritama. So if you remember from the last video, Teritama is like a thin pork patty instead of a beef patty, and it was very delicious. And so we'll see how that tastes. And then lastly, oh, these smell amazing. We got the hot and delicious breakfast hotcakes, which is basically just pancakes. Since we have so many items, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eat just a little bit of each and give my thoughts, try everything, and then at the end of the video, I'll suffer and I'll try to finish all of this because not sure if I'll be able to eat all of this, but I guess we'll find out. All right, let's start with a bacon egg McSandwich. So the interesting thing about this one, so that's what it looks like. So obviously, as you can tell, you have your egg, you have one strip of bacon, what the fuck? And then you have your cheese. And it's basically, instead of in a breakfast sandwich, you have it obviously in like more of like a dinner sort of bun style. And so we'll see how this tastes. So obviously, the big issue here is the fact that you only get one strip of bacon. What the hell? And as you can see, it doesn't even cover all of it. It's just down the middle. So unless you get like a massive bite, you're not gonna get a lot of bacon. So this thing is pretty disappointing. As well, the dinner bun, as you can see, it's like just a lot of surface area. And so you get a lot of grain. And so it's very dry, especially because there's not a lot of sauce on there. There is a lot of cheese sauce, but there's nothing to add sort of like nice little moisture. So although it does taste good because the egg always tastes good and the bacon always tastes pretty good, it is pretty disappointing. So next we'll go with the sausage McMuffin with egg. So let's see how this one looks. So obviously you have this one in more of a breakfast bun style. You have the McMuffin right here. You do have your egg, you do have your sausage, you do have your cheese as well. And it looks like that's pretty much it. There's not a big stark difference between what looks like the more traditional McDonald's breakfast items here in Japan compared to Canada. But let's see how it tastes. This is pretty good. So again, as always, the egg, nice fresh egg, especially because I went early in the morning. And then we have obviously the delicious sausage. The sausage tastes amazing. Now, obviously this one's a lot better than the other one, probably because the sausage actually covers the entire surface area of the bun. So you always get a nice, juicy, delicious taste of sausage. Though again, the bun is a little bit dry, but I do prefer this sort of bun compared to the more dinner bun style. Definitely this breakfast bun definitely tastes a lot better and goes a lot better with the egg and the sausage and more like a breakfast item. And this is really good. Okay, so next we have something that's very interesting and something I'm pretty sure will disappoint me is the chicken crisp muffin. So what this is basically just like a muffin, like the same muffin, but with chicken instead. And I've stated before, I'm not too fond of the chicken patties here in Japan. The chicken patties compared to the ones in Canada aren't as crispy and aren't as seasoned as well. So it does taste a little bit more flat than what you normally get in Canada. So let's see what we have here. So you have obviously your bun, and then you have your meat right there. And then obviously there's nothing on what I believe is the bottom. You have some lettuce along with some sauce, which looks like mayo. It's like a yellow mayo, as you can tell right there. And yeah, I guess let's just dig in. Let's see how this tastes. Yeah. So this thing is pretty disappointing in the sense where you already have the dry bun. And then you have the dried chicken. Because the chicken is very, like I wish there was more like crispy seasoning. Give you more of like a crunch in your mouth, at least a different texture. Because like I said, the chicken here in Japan is a little bit flat and it's a little bit boring and not much of a taste. You do taste like chicken, but it's not as good as the one in Canada, definitely for sure. Obviously, you do have some lettuce, but the lettuce adds absolutely no moisture to the burger. And you have whatever this sauce is. I don't know what this sauce is, but I'm not a big fan of it. It's definitely not mayo. And I'll definitely look into what it is and then I'll post it on the screen. Then you guys can have an idea of what it is. But I don't know. It's in their dinner chicken sandwiches, more like the value menu one. And I really, really don't like it. I don't know. I can't explain the taste. It's just, it doesn't work. I would 100% prefer mayo. Now, whatever this sauce is, must be some like Japanese style sauce. And I guess because they still have it, I guess people enjoy it. And so this one, very disappointing, very bland. I wish they did something to sort of spice it up. But other than that, definitely this one I would not probably recommend, as the other one was infinitely times better than this one. Just alone. All right, so obviously we're saving the Teritama for last because I know the Teritama one's gonna be delicious because the Teritama burgers were spot on delicious. So let's go with the sausage and egg cheese McGriddle. And so obviously the difference between the McGriddle and the McMuffin is the bun. And so obviously, as you can see right here, it's obviously very different, but you have more of like a pancake style bun. It's a little bit more moist instead of the other ones. The other ones you can obviously tell it's a bit dry. Here you can tell there is a little bit of a moisture within the bun. And now the moisture will definitely be good to counteract the dryness of the other bun. Obviously you can see here, wow, we got a lot of melted cheese. So on the bottom, we don't have anything. We have the egg, obviously. We have the sausage, and we have a lot of melted cheese. And so let's see how this tastes like. Definitely, obviously, this one, McGriddle, the other one, McMuffin, but pretty much the same, egg, sausage, cheese. So we'll see which one's a lot better. Now that is good. Definitely the McGriddle is a lot better than the McMuffin or the other breakfast sandwich, in the sense that, again, because it's more like a pancake, it's definitely a lot more moist than the other buns. And so it alleviates a little bit of the dryness because you do have cheese, you do have egg, you do have sausage. You don't have really any sort of sauce to counteract all the dryness. And so the moisture of the McGriddle definitely helps a lot better. As well as the McGriddle has a delicious taste. It's so good. The McGriddle I could probably eat on my own, but the combination of the McGriddle, the egg, the sausage, delicious. Definitely really good. I really don't want to stop eating it, but if I want to eat everything, I gotta take a little bit of break. Now let's go with the breakfast pancakes. And so we'll try the pancakes we have here. So as you can see, we have what looks like 1, 2, and 3 pancakes. They do feel a little bit thin, a little bit moist. They definitely smell like pancakes. And so obviously what we got with the pancakes is we get some cutlery. So you get your hot cake syrup, you get your butter, and then obviously some cutlery for the pancakes. And so the pancakes, because they've been sitting out a little bit while, they're probably not as hot as I would like them, and probably not as hot as what you're gonna get. So obviously if I put the butter, it's not gonna completely melt. So what we're gonna do first is let's try the pancakes on their own, see how they taste, and then we'll add the syrup and then we'll eat it with the syrup. So let's try it on our own. So it's basically a pancake, nothing special to be quite honest. A little bit dry because it's obviously no syrup or anything on it. But this is alright, not sweet, just nice pastry. Alright, now as a Canadian, we value and we treasure our syrup. And so I want to try the syrup on its own and see what it tastes like and how good it is. Bon appetit. Now that was not a good idea. But I got literally syrup all over me. Fuck my life. That was not a good idea. Well, that's unfortunate. Let's just pour the syrup all over the pancake. Let's try it. So let's just pour it onto that half that we already eaten. All right, so let's try the pancake with the syrup. Let's see how this tastes. As you can see, we got a nice coating of syrup onto the pancake. Oh, fuck. Almost spilled it everywhere. Let's try it. Very good pancakes. The combination of the pancakes with the syrup, delicious. I was worried I was going to finish these, but the syrup is mildly addictive. So the pancakes are definitely delicious. I do enjoy them. Wow. Especially with the syrup. The great part about the syrup is the syrup isn't too sweet. You do taste a lovely syrup, but it's not too sweet. You can taste the natural sugars of the syrup, and it's very good. Very delicious. So we tried the bacon egg McSandwich, the sausage and egg McMuffin, the sausage and egg McGriddle, and then we tried the chicken crisp McMuffin. And so far, as mentioned, 2 of them have been disappointments, 2 of them have been great. One has been a standout, that's obviously the McGriddle. And now, le piece de résistance. what I believe is going to be absolutely delicious. The Teritama. Now, the Teritama, as you can see, it's unfortunately in a McMuffin bun. I would have preferred if it was in a McGriddle because the McGriddle definitely tastes far superior than the McMuffin. But I guess maybe they did some QA testing and saw that people more preferred it in the McMuffin than the McGriddle. And so obviously, as you can see your teriyaki sauce down here. You can see your Teritama right there. See your egg, and you do see what looks like some mayo and some lettuce all the way at the top. So again, mayo, lettuce, egg, Teritama, and teriyaki sauce. So now let's dig in, see what it looks like. It's a little bit of a mess, a little bit, but it's all about the taste. It's literally dripping in sauce and mayo. Holy shit. So the Teritama, absolutely delicious. I do love the teriyaki sauce. I do love the pork patty. I do like the mayo, but unfortunately here, I feel like it might be a little bit too much, especially for breakfast. I don't know if it's the mayo and the teriyaki sauce together, but I do feel like it is a little bit too much, a little bit too rich in flavor. It could also be because I ate 4 burgers and some pancakes beforehand and I'm starting to get full, but I do feel that the combination of mayo and teriyaki sauce maybe in the morning is a little bit too much. And so although I did enjoy the Teritama, I did feel like once I started taking a few more bites, I was starting to be like, all right, that's a little bit too much. That's one of the issues when it comes to a lot of Japanese style food, especially when you get some teriyaki food, because a lot of the times you get teriyaki and you get mayo as well. And so obviously they're both rich, they're both thick sauces, and when you combine them together you just get a big pile of rich and thick sauces. Now obviously in moderation it's great, but you know, sometimes people don't pay attention. They add too much mayo, or they add too much teriyaki, or they add too much of both, and then you get so much that you're turned off a little bit from the food. And so I am turned off a little bit from the Teritama. It is good though. Maybe it's too much mayo, maybe it's too much teriyaki, maybe it's because I've eaten a lot of food already. But I probably would not get this again. But I would probably maybe not get this again, especially because this was a little bit on the higher end. It's about 350 yen if I remember correctly. Now 350 yen for a breakfast burger that you might not enjoy because of the richness of the sausage. Probably not a good deal when you could get stuff that are a lot cheaper that you'll probably more thoroughly enjoy. As much as I love Teritamas, unfortunately, this isn't it. Unfortunately, which is surprising because I left this for the last and it's not the best. So again, the other things that we do have to talk about is the fact that when you order something with bacon here in Japan, unfortunately, as you saw, you only get 1 strip, which makes absolutely no sense because it goes right down the middle and you don't get a delicious juicy bite of the bacon. And as you saw with the sausage, you do get a nice flat disc that covers the entire sandwich, so you always have a delicious bite to go with it. And so if you're ever ordering anything in Japan with bacon as well, the bacon isn't crispy compared to probably in Canada. Don't get anything that has bacon in it because you're only gonna get 1 strip of bacon instead of 2. You're not gonna get a flat even coating. And so obviously you're not gonna enjoy the sandwich as much because you're not getting a full delicious juicy bite of that bacon. Now, I love chicken, but unfortunately this chicken burger definitely does not do it for me. It might do it for you. But as I mentioned, the chicken patties here in Japan, they're a little bit flat, they're a little bit boring. They're not seasoned and crispy and juicy like the ones in Canada. I'm not sure why. Maybe the Japanese enjoy the more flat chicken taste. Or maybe it's supposed to mimic the Japanese fried chicken. But Japanese fried chicken tastes pretty delicious. So I guess maybe add some salt, some pepper to the chicken patty because that's what they do with the fried chicken here in Japan. And then maybe you'll enjoy that a little bit more. But the chicken patty, I don't enjoy the sauce. Again, whatever this sauce is, I'll put it on the screen and then you guys can have an idea of what it probably tastes like. The chicken crisp definitely does not taste well, does not stay with me. So definitely, I personally do not recommend the chicken sandwich. Don't buy it, waste your money. Same thing with the bacon McSandwich. Definitely shy away from there. Now, when it comes to 2 stars, you obviously get your McGriddle, your sausage and egg with a lot of melted cheese. And you do get your McMuffin, sausage and egg with lots of melted cheese. And obviously, I do prefer the McGriddle over the McMuffin. Obviously a little bit more pricier, as you'll see up on the screen, a little bit more pricier than the other one, but I do believe that the moisture and the juicy deliciousness of the McGriddle definitely sort of makes it worth it, especially if you're gonna go for a breakfast sandwich. And I do believe if you're gonna get coffee as well, because a lot of people get coffee with their breakfast sandwich, you might want to get something like this because I think the dryness of the McMuffin and then going with like bitter coffee won't go so well. But if you're drinking a little bit more refreshing, if you're getting something like maybe a juice, then maybe it'll be okay. Maybe it'll help counteract the dryness and the saltiness of the McMuffin. But I do recommend the McGriddle. Definitely tastes really good, very delicious. Now, there are cheaper options. There is the sausage McGriddle, there is the sausage McMuffin, which is obviously done without the egg. And obviously those would probably taste just as good. The egg does add a little bit of a refreshing taste. It does add a little bit more flavor, but I feel like even without the egg, I feel like they would both be pretty generally delicious, especially the McGriddle. So if you're not too fond of egg, if you don't want to spend too much, definitely look at the more cheaper options, especially because they do seem a little bit more worth it. And so when it comes to the pancakes are delicious. If you're a fan of pancakes, you're going to join this Pancakes. As a Canadian, maple syrup, very delicious. Again, you get a nice, refreshing, sort of sweety flavor, but it's not too sweet. It's not too rich. It's not too overpowering, which a lot of maple syrups can do. They can add so much sweetness, and the flavor can be a little bit too overpowering, which will turn you off the flavor. But this syrup, as you can tell from all over me, very nice, very delicious. And when you pair the syrup with the pancakes, definitely makes a delicious package. Definitely would recommend these pancakes if you're a fan of pancakes. Now, pancakes, I believe, are 300 yen. So a little bit on the pricier side and a little higher up when it comes to these sort of breakfast items. If you're going for a cheap meal, maybe look at the burgers, get some cheap burgers and stuff like that. But all around, I am happy with more or less the breakfast items that I got. I learned what's good or what's not good. So if I ever get breakfast at McDonald's Japan, I obviously know what to get. Now, when we do talk about obviously McDonald's Japan and breakfast items, there are a couple breakfast items that I did not get. Obviously, either because of the price or because it would have been just too much. So obviously, you can see your Teritama over here, 350 yen, Egg McMuffin, bacon egg McSandwich, and definitely eggs that. Sausage egg McMuffin, sausage McMuffin, large chicken crisp, eggs that. You got your Filet-O-Fish. I haven't tried that, but maybe I can try that in the next video. Then we got the pancakes. And so yeah, you have your McGriddle sausage egg, your McGriddle bacon egg, McGriddle sausages. You got your McMuffin. Definitely wanted to try this. Again, you can see 2 sausages, your egg, and your bacon. Probably been even worth it for the price when you think about it. But as well as you do have your big breakfast, including hash browns, you have your big breakfast deluxe. Now, when you look at it, of course, they don't really tell you exactly what's in here, but you can see you got your hash browns, you got your sausage patty, you have your egg, what I believe, and then you have your, I believe, bacon McMuffin. And then here, big breakfast deluxe. You have your egg, your hash brown, you do have your pancakes, you do have the sausage, and then you have that what looks like bacon McMuffin. So obviously these are a little bit more pricier. You got your 400 and 600 yen, but if you break down the price, it might actually be a little bit more worth than what you're seeing here. So definitely check those out. You could definitely check those out. I believe in the side menu, you can still get chicken nuggets. So if you're feeling like chicken and you think about getting this, don't get this. Get the nuggets. Nuggets infinitely times better. So definitely get the nuggets. You can also get a side salad. You get some corn, half papaya, some yogurt, and there are some value sets, some combinations, stuff like that. And so definitely McDonald's Japan, pretty good. Obviously not a stark difference between what I believe in Canada. A lot of these items I'm sure you'll find basically on the Canadian menu or the USA menu. So if you come to Japan and you do want to get the breakfast menu, I guess you could sort of rely on how good it's going to taste, because it'll probably be the exact same flavors you're familiar with in Canada or the States or other parts of Europe, perhaps, maybe. But obviously you can see that you do get a couple items here that you won't get in other countries. You can get your corn on the side, you can get your Teritama. I believe that's pretty much it. I'm not sure about the Filet-O-Fish. I'm not sure if you can get the Filet-O-Fish in other regions of the world like Canada or the States. If I remember correctly, I don't remember being able to get the Filet-O-Fish in Canada. Maybe it's because I haven't gone to McDonald's breakfast often in Canada, but I just don't remember the Filet-O-Fish. Now, that's pretty much it for McDonald's Japan. Again, as I said, pretty good, pretty consistent flavors. Probably gonna be the same thing you taste in Canada, and I would recommend a couple items, and I would not recommend a couple items. But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, make sure you give me a like, subscribe. Let me down below, what's your favorite McDonald's item? And I'll catch you guys next time. I gotta go clean my shirt and my pants because there's maple syrup anywhere. Peace out.